a minute. All right, everybody, what's going on? It's Charles Smith, host of the T-Shirt Millionaires Live Show, and today I have AK, good friend of mine, owner and founder of Swagify.com. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to have a great convo today, but I just want to drop it off to you first, bro. Let the people tell the people who you are and what you do.
All right. Well, as you know, I'm AK. You can find me on Instagram, Scalable CEO. I've been in the print-on-demand business for almost 10 years now, and we're launching. I mean, I fulfill it for some of the largest companies. Now we're launching our own platform. I'm super excited about that. It's called Swagify, and it's going to be a game changer. So I'm just excited to launch it. It's just any day now. So
absolutely. And so he's right on the cusp of releasing it to the public. And so for those who may not know, I know a lot of people in the community know what print on demand is, but for those who may not know what print on demand is an opportunity to where if you're a t-shirt brand owner, you have any type of merch that you want to sell, as opposed to outlaying cash up front, as opposed to buying a whole bunch of inventory, as opposed to you doing the fulfillment, the shipping and printing of your orders. Somebody else does that for you, and then you're able to just focus on the front end of the business. For anybody who knows my story, you know, I started with print on demand when I was flat broke, when I didn't have anything. When I hit rock bottom, I used the print on demand method to be able to start my very first t-shirt brand, get it off the ground and grow from there. So that's exactly what AK is building at the current moment. He has an amazing facility out in Houston, and look forward to talking about his story. So with that being said, bro, I want to go ahead and let's just start at the beginning, man. So where did entrepreneurship start from you, right? You've been successful, you know, millions and millions of dollars. Where did it start from you? Where was ground zero on your journey?
I think it was blood, because my dad's been an entrepreneur. My grandfather was an entrepreneur. So my dad was like, look, you don't want to go through this whole route. It's not easy. Just be a lawyer, be a doctor, and just have a regular 9-to-5 job, Monday through Friday, spend your family time on the weekends. And I was just like, absolutely not. Like, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. So you can't tell me something and, tell me to change the way I want to live my life. So I think it runs in your blood. Just seeing somebody like my dad was always like my mentor. So I kind of wanted to just, whatever he built, I wanted to take it to the next level, right? And I knew he started in the gas station business, but I knew that I couldn't be in the gas station, or they call it the cookie market, right? So,
right.
Or that's what I was bullied for, But so I was like, I'm just gonna build my own kingdom and my own legacy. And so in high school, in middle school, actually, I used to go to my dad's gas station and grab a bunch of Airheads and candy. And I used to start hustling candy in middle school and high school. And that's how I actually started my entrepreneurial journey, just selling candy in school. That was my first business.
Right. Nice. So, like you said, it's in the blood. It was in your family. You follow, your dad's footsteps, started selling candy. And I can remember back in the day when I was in high school, we go to Sam's Club, get a whole bunch of stuff wholesale, sell it in the hallways, in the lockers. So I can totally understand that. So in high school, so that's what you did. That's where it started. Did you go to college and what was your education after that maybe contributed to some, or maybe not contribute to what you're doing right now?
Yeah. So in in high school, I came across a website called eBay, right? And Alibaba. A lot of people didn't know about Alibaba at the time. And, more people were kind of starting to use eBay because that was like the biggest website. And this was back in 2001. And I started selling just regular stuff out of my house. I was selling my old clothes. I would stay up till like 12 o'clock and wait for the new Jordan 11s to drop and the 13s to drop. And I would buy, literally take my mom's credit card and just max it out and just literally grab as many Jordans as I possibly could at 12 o'clock, get all my friends to buy it, and then really just started reselling those products on eBay. and pay my parents back, keep the profit. And that's how I actually started selling online. And that contributed everything to what I have today. So I always kind of was on the internet. Like I knew I had to sell on the internet. I saw something massively, like a big movement. I think it was like Apple dropped these like new what is it? The like, I forget what it's called. Like the little music players. They used to be like these little
iPod things.
Yeah, but they used to be like these shuffles. They're called iPod shuffles. But before it was like a long stick, I think. And I remember it was like their first release, and I just bought like, I don't know, like 500 of them or something. And I literally like put them on eBay, and all of a sudden I came home one day and one guy just bought all 500 of them. I was like, dang, I popped like $100 on each one of those, right? And then I ended up making all this money on eBay and went to Party Poker and blew it all. Right. So I lost everything on partypoker.com, and I was just like so depressed. I'm like, shit, dude. Like I made all this money as a freshman and sophomore in high school, and I blew it all in Party Poker, you know? And so from that, I learned, hey, I'm never going to gamble. I'm never getting, even till this day, when I go to Vegas, I don't gamble at all. Can't do it. So I'm glad I went that experience. Yeah. And so that's how I really started on the internet. That whole thing led to what I have today, is that hustle mindset, and just that drive to just be successful and make money. And I think what took it to the next level is when I went to college, my freshman year at UTSA, same thing. I was selling on eBay, like since high school. That's the only avenue I had, right? eBay. That's all I knew. And then I ended up getting into University of Miami. And so I ended up transferring to University of Miami, and I walked in there and I was just like, wow, look at these cars, look at the yachts, look at the houses. Like, damn, I want that. Right. So how do I take it to the next level? And then from there, I started hustling t-shirts to fraternities and sororities on campus. And I was basically getting orders from them. I would go on customink.com, because at the time Custom Ink was still new. This is like 2006, 2007. And that's when the internet was just starting. That's when Google AdWords and everything was just paid advertising just started beginning. And I went to Custom Ink, bought some t-shirts, and I was flipping it, just maybe $2-3 a pop. And then I was getting hundreds of orders there, or hundreds of units there. And that's how I kind of really paid my way, or helped pay my way through college, and paid my loans off.
Nice. So that's cool, bro. So definitely, you got the hustle mentality. That's what they're talking about in the comments. He was hustling that candy, you know what I'm saying? And he went flipping the music thing. So you went down to school, you started selling t-shirts, and you would kind of use, I guess, was it Custom Ink to be able to fulfill the shirts for you. So that's dope. So I guess they would come in, would they come in the mail to you, or would you send them directly to them?
Oh, no, they come to me.
Yeah, and then you just give it to them afterwards.
The little, what do they call it? The little, that little logo they got all over that box.
Right. Knowing where it came from. We got to hide the plug. Nah, I got you.
You can't be giving your resources out like that,
Facts. Nah, I got you. So all right, cool, man. So that's from high school to college. And so, we're seeing you starting these businesses. Now tell me, you mentioned something, Google AdWords. So when you were doing the Google ads, were you selling online then? Were these consumers coming from online? And what were you selling with the AdWords?
So that was in 2007 when I was hustling in college, right? But after I graduated, I ended up moving to Canada, and I was hustling wholesale slabs of granite. That's where I learned how to go sell door to door. I was going to different fabrication shops. I was working for this guy who was selling granite slabs. And that's where I started learning how to go actually know how to sell, right? 'Cause I think that is the most important skill set. If you don't know how to sell, you're not going to make it, right? You can generate all the traffic in the world online now, but if you don't know how to take that customer from online to offline and build a long-term relationship with that person, there's only so much you can do behind a keyboard, right? People still want that touch. They still want that feeling of that community feeling, or that feeling of just wanting to be heard. So that's where I learned how to really sell and things like that. So and then from there, I moved back to Houston, started a record label. Out of all things, I started a record label. Met a friend. He was in the music game. We signed this artist named Bobby Moon. We got picked up by Akon, and then he got dropped. Then we got picked up by Snoop. He dropped him. And then from there, I was like, man, screw this whole music game. I'm just not going to do this anymore. It's just another venture that I lost all the money I made, lost again. Right. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back into this custom t-shirt business, right? Because that's something that I love doing. I always did it. I always made money on it. So it's like guaranteed almost, right? Because everybody needs it and everybody wears a t-shirt, right? In the whole world. And that's how I started the whole online promotional products business selling swag. And that's where I launched a company called Brand Next in 2012 and started with Google AdWords and did like 2 million in sales the first year. And then that's where my story begins, right? With all the stuff you happened, right? So
for sure. Okay. So let's back up a little bit. There's a few things that I want to touch on. So did you say it's the company that you started was Brand Next? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about these promotional products that you were selling. What type of items were they?
Right. So we were selling t-shirts, wristbands, like lanyards, the little buttons that politicians wear, temporary tattoos. And so I ended up figuring out how to make all that in my house. So I was living at my parents' garage at the time. I bought a laser engraving machine and I was engraving silicone wristbands and I was selling them online. That's how I started. So
how booming is that business, bro? I think you mentioned to me that this is like a popular industry. How booming is that, and how easy is it for someone to get in that type of business today?
Yeah, there's an entire hidden industry of promotional products with about 120,000 resellers that go sell swag. T-shirts is part of actually this industry, which is about 40% of the industry. But there's like about 50 to 60% of the industry is dominated by pens and napkins and T-shirts and towels and floor mats and all sorts of branded swag like tote bags. And those are all humongous. You know, it's a humongous opportunity in the branded promotional product side for like huge companies. And that's the thing. Like, I think that's an entire industry that a lot of people don't know about. That's where I really made a lot of my money. And now I'm bringing all that knowledge, all those relationships, all those vendors, because we're a vendor in the trade, and we're bringing it to Swagify. And that's what's going to make Swagify special is really not the platform, because nothing separates me from Printful. The only thing that separates me from Printify is the fact that I actually own my own facility. So me and Printful, we're the same thing. The only difference is we're going to allow the consumer, or not the consumer, the reseller that joins, to access thousands of vendors within our platform for products they haven't even seen before, and to be able to do bulk products. To get into the B2B space that they're missing out on so much money. I'm talking about millions.
Right. That they're not even tapping into. So no, that's dope. And I think, you know, for everybody watching, you know, that B2B space, that promotional space that AK is talking about, like he said, that's like a hidden tapped industry. So do your research. That's some B2B business that, you know, you could possibly get into, right? I'm sure that just like everything else, you're going to have to figure out the tricks of the trade and, you know, build relationships. But I think that's really strong. And he threw out a gem, you know, as far as that goes. Now, bro, you said with that. Go ahead.
All right. So this industry is a $28 billion industry where 90%, I would say 80% of the business is offline right now. And it's all going online. So if you look at the companies like 4imprint.com, discountmugs.com, 24hourwristbands.com, imprint.com, pens.com. I mean, just if you combine just those 5 websites, that's like $2 billion right there. So, so there's a lot of opportunity still coming in. So we're going to start training and educating everybody into this industry that nobody really knows about, which I'm going to open it up, because we're going to be doing a couple of masterminds and coaching sessions together and open it up. So I'm going to bring all that to the table, like full transparency, bring it all together. But that's like my like gem, you know, that's something I'm holding on to, because I'm the only one in the print on demand industry that understands this, because I come from that. And the print on demand industry now is trying to get into that, but they have no clue what they're getting themselves into. So that's why I'm hoping we're going to be able to kind of take that market share because of that.
Right. So listen, y'all, he just threw out some websites. He threw out some powerful information. And information is power. Just understanding, you know, different opportunities, you know, and really embracing those, you know, that can really help change your life and take things to new levels. So One thing that AK mentioned, right, and I want y'all to pay attention to this. You know, when Swagify opens, he's going to have a university. He's not going to just be a company to where they're going to be able to print and manufacture and ship out and fulfill your orders. But this is going to be an opportunity for you to learn, right, and to understand tricks of the trade and how to sell not only B2C, but also B2B opportunities as well. So I want you to continue listening to this conversation because this man has a wealth of knowledge that can really elevate you. So with that being said, bro, you said you started your company. You know, you ended up making, was it like your first 2 million?
Which company?
Brand all these millions. Yeah.
So the first year we did about 1 million. The second year we did about 3 million.
Cool.
This has nothing to do with print on demand. So currently today I run a $22 million promotional products company. 24 million promotional products company.
How was it for you hitting your first million, man? I know that's a goal that a lot of people always aspire to, and I've always heard as well. People always try to reach the million, but they say, do you really need to try to reach that? What was that for you? And were you trying to aim to even do that? Give me your thoughts on that.
Are you saying my first million in revenue or my first million?
Hey, revenue, because that's the first step is the revenue.
You got $1 million in the revenue, then you got $1 million in the company bank account that actually stays there, and then you got $1 million in your personal bank account. So talk
to me about all three. Give me a quick boom, and which one was more important for you?
For me, I think the first $1 million in my personal bank account was more important to me. And that happened just maybe last year after 12 years of grinding, right? Like 14 years of being in entrepreneurship, and then from there just took off, right? This year was I'm blessed, but yeah, I mean, but in terms of hitting the first $1 million in revenue, I think these days it's easy. Put money in ads, right? Yeah, put all the money in ads and don't take any profit home. Like if you just can get away with low expenses in the first year and just live frugal, don't go buy a nice car, don't be doing all that stupid shit. Just focus on putting everything into user acquisition. You'll get to the million very quickly. So I don't think that's not what actually got me excited, was because the only person making money is Google and Facebook.
Facts.
So, but you just like every business, there's no quick money. You got to feed the business. You got to just get out there. So if you can live on 2, 3, 4% net profit for the first few years, all those customers will come back and buy, and that's where you make real money.
Absolutely. No, those are powerful gems. And, I think that, that's something, I wanted to ask because entrepreneurs, they're always aiming for that. I don't know. That was something that I was aiming for a very long time. And, I think that, your perspective on it is strong and what people should be considering as they're growing their business. So I want to fast forward, bro. All right. So you got your promotional products company, you grow it, you build it, that's taken off for you. What happens over the next couple of years as you're growing this business? You started in your garage. Tell us the next steps after that.
So I started in my garage. I finally was able to afford and get my first office because I had a printing business, manufacturing business in my parents' house, basically. And they're just like, get out. They're like, you can't be breaking the breakers with heat presses or popping the breakers with heat presses. I got ink smell all over the entire house. I mean, it was just, cloth everywhere. I mean, it was crazy. Glue everywhere, silicone dust everywhere. I mean, it was bad. And so I had to get an office, got an office. It was like 6,000 square feet. And, we started growing. And then it was 2013. And then around 2014, before this, I had another project that I got into e-commerce called Spurs.com, which was an online Halloween lingerie business. And it took off. And then I ended up having a fallout with the business partner, and I ended up leaving the company. And so what happened was him and I got together because he was in a similar business. So even though I was his business partner before that, but he was actually in the printing and the promotional business. That's how I learned everything. So him and I are actually boys. Like, shout out to him. His name is Mash, good guy. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here. So every time I see him, I always tell him that. So even though we're competitors, but at the end of the day, we're still friends, and he helped me But at the time, obviously we were, you know, butting heads and stuff like that. But you know, so what happened was him and I got together and we decided to engage in some talks that we shouldn't have engaged in. And apparently, I had no clue that I was committing a federal crime by talking to a competitor about prices. Did we do it? No. Did we talk about it? Yes. So what happened was we got together and I was like, look, okay, well, let's just go get everybody else and let's just talk because we're all losing money. Google's making all the money. Like we're paying $40 a click for the keyword custom wristband. And so because of that, you know, we all got together and it was my fault for bringing everybody together. And because not that we did it, but we spoke about it, it's a conspiracy, it's a price fix. And one of the guys who was there was wearing a wire. And because he was wearing a wire, he turned us into the federal government. And then they just made us an example. And come 2016, I'm in Miami and my brother calls me, he goes, hey, the feds are at the office with guns, like 40 of them, right? They just raided my office like I like killed somebody or something. And it was silicone wristbands. And I ended up having a few years later, went through all the stuff like for 2016 to 2019, I was under investigation. 2017, I pivoted into print on demand. I was like, man, screw this wristband business. I don't want to see a fucking silicone wristband ever again in my life. And you know, I just pivoted into print on demand, started contract printing for like some big companies, as you know, who some of them are. And, you know, some of my clients actually that I have today didn't give me that opportunity when I first got my machines. They're like, oh no, we're good. We have too many of you guys. I'm like, all right, well, I'll just go build my own platform then. Right. And now all of a sudden when the economy when pandemic happens, now everybody wants my capacity. Right. And I'm just like, nope, I'm just going to focus on my own stuff now. You know, when you had me, you didn't give it to me, but now I'm just going to focus on my own and give it to the people that actually need it. But then I had a couple of other great clients that really really were there from day one, who I really take care of. But anyways, back to the story. So yeah, we got raided and I was under investigation for 3 years, ended up pleading guilty in 2019, paid almost $2 million in fines and legal fees. Went to prison for 8 months, got out in April, and then we skyrocketed the company. So even throughout all that, yeah, I was making money, but I was actually losing it all to Google. And then the feds came in, they took everything from me pretty much, like all the fines and got diagnosed with a brain tumor, found out last week, gone. So I'm super lucky, blessed for that. It's now, I have no more brain tumor. So everything's just, 2020, 2021 has been a great year, but it's a long story. So, I mean, I can't talk about all of it, but if you go on my YouTube, you can kind of follow the journey,
Absolutely. So that's powerful, man. You went through, your shares of ups and downs. And I want to kind of talk about that, right? Because I think as entrepreneurs, whether it's mistakes made, whether, it's setbacks, whether, we face some type of opposition, right? There are different things that come into our journey. And so, with that happening, right, and the feds coming in and raiding, I know that had to be tough to you mentally, bro. I've had my own fair share of things going on, but nothing nothing that extreme. So how did you deal with that mentally at that time, right? Where were you going through mentally, right? To even, were you thinking about business or were you thinking about, oh man, like, I don't even know what's going to happen in the next few months? What was going through your mind at that time?
Yeah, I think at the time I was like, well, I think that stress is what got me my pituitary tumor. So, I think the biggest thing there was it was a roller coaster of emotions, right? And I went to Tony Robbins. I tried to find help. What I did was I just told people about what I was going through. Some people laughed, some people talk shit behind my back. And then a lot of people also were like, damn, man, like, thanks for sharing that. Like one guy I remember meeting and he was like going through a divorce and I was just like, dude, I'm going to prison. Like, what the fuck you? And, like, oh shit, dude. Like, thank you. Like I'm good. So I think that it was just a roller coaster of emotions. And dude, there was times where I would just go in my theater room and it was all dark and I just like sit there crying, right? And then like for 5 hours, just depressed. And my wife would just come in there and like try to make me laugh and bring me food. And I just couldn't get it out of my head. And then I was just like, dude, like I got to stop playing victim card. I got to stop. I got a kid. Like I have a 43-year-old at the time. I was like, dude, if I'm not here, like who's going to take care of this child? Right. And I realized, man, I'm playing victim. Like I'm being selfish. Like who cares what I'm going through? Like at the end of the day, I put myself in that position. Yeah, I didn't know, I was ignorant and I was naive and stupid. But at the end of the day, I have a child to take care of. I have a wife to take care of. And I think because of having that family and that support, and also at the end of the same day, I had 20 employees at the time. Having employees and a business, I was like, I have to be strong, because if it's not for me, then these people they're not going to be eating. So I have to pivot. I have to figure it out. I have to just like, fuck it. I just got to let go of my personal issues and just dive in and just have solutions versus wasting my time thinking about something that I can't change. And that all comes down to psychological, like just your mental, having a certain mindset and just being strong up here, because at the end of the day, look, I'm going to prison and it is what it is. Like, can't be that bad, right? I mean, yeah, it's scary here and there. And I was getting anxiety attacks, felt like I was getting a stroke or a heart attack. I would run to the emergency room. It was all just fear in my head. And then once you realize that you don't have fear, and you just, it's just a dark cloud over your head that will eventually move. Like, it's just temporarily. Like if you can understand that, then you can get through anything in life, whether it's a drug addiction or a bad relationship or a business, whatever it is, because you're always going to face issues, like no matter who it is. It could be your wife, your husband, your child, anything. It's all about how you yourself cope with it. And you have to be strong. You have to just understand, hey, this is a temporary feeling. And you can't let it affect you, and you cannot try to change other people. The only thing you can do is change yourself, because if you change yourself, everyone around you will change.
That's powerful, y'all. That's powerful, bro. And I appreciate, your transparency. And I think for everybody on here, right, it's one thing to talk about tactics in business and if Facebook ads and Instagram ads aren't working and different things like that. But a lot of the times, there are certain things that happen outside of business, just life, right, that challenge us, that test us. And you've heard a pure story of a man who admittedly made a mistake, naively didn't know, right, but made a mistake. He went through something, but at the end of the day, he said, you know what, instead of me, he called it selfish for him to put, even though he was the one going to prison, he called it selfish, putting all the focus on him. And he said, I have a family. I have a son. I have people who work for me that are dependent on me, right? And I just want you to understand it and take some of those gems that AK just provided us with about how to manage your mind state, right? When things are happening, try to compare it to if I'm going to prison. Ask yourself, is it that bad, right? And know that you can move forward and move past these things. Like you said, it might be a dark cloud over you, but it'll eventually move, right? And we have to keep pushing forward. So I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate, the transparency and everything that you just talked about. I'm looking at the comments right now. Somebody said if AK went through all of that and still made it, then anyone can. No excuses. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, no excuses.
Period.
So and we're gonna show everybody too. We're gonna show them.
Right. No excuses. We don't have any excuses, y'all. So we need to stop the complaining. Don't play. The other thing that before I move forward, he said, do not play victim. Don't play victim. When things go wrong, don't play victim. Get up off your horse, keep moving forward, right? So that's powerful, bro. I appreciate that. So
here's the thing. If you have the internet and you got a cell phone and you're watching this, you got no excuse. I can tell you right now, you got no excuse. Like, you just need to just surround yourself with the right people. And I'm telling you, this group here is the right. Like, we're here to help where we can, but you have no excuse. I've been through all of it, but guess what? At the end of the day, I don't got cancer. I'm alive, right? And that's when you can understand that you're in the United States or in Canada and you have the internet, you have all the opportunity in the world. It's just finding that knowledge and then pushing out all the noise around you and just staying focused, because you will figure it out. I promise you. It just takes time, and you just got to constantly learn and educate yourself every day.
Powerful. So that's coming straight from a founder and the owner of a $20 million company, y'all. So those are powerful words. So with that being said, bro, feds come. You end up, how long were you in there? 8 months?
8 months.
What are so while you were in there, tell me about tell me about the silver lining in the whole thing. While you were in there, tell me a positive that came out of that while you were in prison.
Just having so much time for myself to think, right? Because I have no cell phone. I'm around everybody else who's a criminal. If I say one wrong thing or look at someone the wrong way, I'll get my ass whooped, right? So it's just really just sitting quiet, focused, on yourself, and then looking back at everything. Because if you're just sitting there by yourself for a long time and there's no distraction, no kids, no wife, no parents, no family, no employees, no Facebook, no ads, nothing, right? I mean, right. You will eventually, like, your mind, you fight it, you'll cry, but at the same time, you also get this like replenish in your brain and just your thoughts, and you just start thinking of everything that you've gone through, and then you start realizing, wow, like, at the end of the day, like, I still put myself in that situation, and everybody around me, if you think about it, is there to help me. Like when you had your fulfillment shop, everybody was there to help you, but ultimately, who was benefiting? Charles Smith, aka I was, right? And then in my back of my head, I was like, but I told all these people that I'm going to help them. But who did I really help? I was actually helping myself. I was pitching them this big vision. Oh, one day when I get there, I'm going to do this for my family and my friends. And give back and donate and share my knowledge. But ultimately, I was being selfish. I was just so consumed in my business, focused on trying to survive and make money. I completely forgot about the present moment. And then being in prison, you have to be in the present moment because there's nothing else around you. So I would walk the track every single day. And to answer your question, I realized that I was a server in my family that had to be up 99.9% of the time. And I was meant to be in that position. So I realized that I can't be selfish. I can't be playing the victim card. And that gave me the strength and the courage and have a fearless mindset, saying that, like, all these people actually depend on me. I have a gift. I need to focus on helping and inspiring and doing that. And that gives me more fulfillment. And I realize that versus just sitting on a computer all day long and just doing so. So instead, start delegating things, focus on what I'm great at, and putting the processes in place, and then really just coming up with a vision and the plan and getting the right people to do the right things. But ultimately, one thing I've learned is learning how not to be selfish, learning to focus on the greater goal, because at the end of the day, not everything we do or make, we can't take with us. I don't know if that answers your question, but
no, bro, no, that's extreme,
right?
No, it's extremely powerful, bro. And and y'all, this is, like I said, I love the conversation because of what AK is talking about. And see, we haven't even really been talking about tactics so much about, business. We're talking about more about life of the entrepreneur. And one thing that really stood out to me is he said, focus on the present, right? A lot of the times we're visionaries. We see in the future, or we have things in the past that we're looking back to, right? And we're bringing these two worlds that don't even really exist, right? And we're bringing them in and making them a reality to right now, right? And he said he had the opportunity to just like block out the past, block out the future, and be present in the moment. And that helped propel him as he went forward. And really give him clarity. So I think that's extremely.
I would like to say something with that, with clarity, because I was on lockdown in prison. And when I got out in April, I got out in February, and then I was still on house arrest till April. I was very clear going into what I wanted to do. And I'll tell you the funny thing. The entire country was on lockdown, and they were bitching and complaining. when I just got out of real lockdown, right?
Right. You was on a totally different thing.
Dude, when I came home back to my house, I was like, dude, this is great. I get to eat Mexican food and like fucking Taco Bell and with my family and my kid. I was so grateful for the stuff that I didn't have that I was like, I was excited. I was like, this is, I'm on, the country's on lockdown. Oh shit, let me just stay with my family. Like that is more important than anything else. Forget the business. And then all of a sudden, like my brother's like, hey, we should get into this face mask and PPE stuff. Our business is dropping. I said, look, man, I just got out of prison, man. I don't want to do nothing. Right. He's like, dude, I need your help. I was like, just put this product on the internet, figure it out. I was like, you know what? All right, let me test the market. So that's when my brother and I, he gave me a little face mask. And he's like, yo, just put it on Etsy. I put it on Etsy. I saw orders come in like boom, 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 like every 2 seconds just on Etsy. And I'm just like, I looked at Ray and I called my brother Nick and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I've never seen something like this before. And this is like, I think in March, April, when the pandemic just broke out and people were like talking about masks. So then I was like, all right, I got this entire facility. Let me just pivot to face mask and get sewing machines and all that stuff. So I was, which we'll talk about that later, but I was so crystal clear because I'll tell you what, I was in the present moment. I was grateful for what I had. I was like super, excited about my family and where I was. So I wasn't afraid of anything. I was just happy with whatever happened and whatever was going to happen today and then tomorrow. So I was very mentally clear. So that's what allowed me to like shift like so quickly.
Wow. So that's amazing. So you get out, you go, your brother tells you about the face mask. Pandemic is happening in the world. You just came out of real lockdown. You put it on Etsy and just find like this winner, just like that, just boom. Yeah. You're like, okay, this is an opportunity. You're present, so you notice it and you shift your whole business, right? You pivot from all promotion. And it was promotional stuff right before, right?
Yeah, promotional could dip 80%.
Right. So you shift. And if you feel like if you would have stayed there, the business would have been gone, right?
Yeah, I'd be out of business.
Like you wouldn't have had, right? So you switch over. You get a whole bunch of, I guess, sewing machines and other people to start. So tell me what happens through the rest of 2020 in the midst of a pandemic.
Because of my business. So when I was going through the investigation, my business started growing a lot while I was being investigated because I've moved over to contract print on demand. So I was fulfilling for some of the larger online guys out there. So I had a little bit of money saved over. But all that was really for the fines because I still owe like $500,000 in fines right now. So they're financing it, so I'm paying it off. So I don't need to pay off the whole thing right now. But so I was like, you know what? Either this is my fine money or I can just put it towards like sewing machines. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to touch this. But luckily, because you got to have good credit, guys. That's the first thing I'm going to tell you. Have good credit. So my American Express have a $500,000 credit line. So I was like, you know what? Let me just charge everything on this. So I bought equipment and charged it. And I was like, you know what, screw it. And I have a felony now, so I can't go get loans. So all I had was a silver American Express card. I was like, this is my 30-day loan. I got to figure it out. So I just charged like $100,000. I was just like, I'm going with this. And then literally put a job post out, went to my community and asked to hire a lot of women who needed jobs. And we just started making face masks. And luckily, because of my old promotional products business, I had 40,000 customers that I created. That's why in the beginning of the call, what did I say? Acquisition. And
before you move forward, bro, these were B2B customers, right?
B2B customers, yeah.
Okay, got it. All right, go ahead.
And I have B2C customers. So because I spent so millions of dollars in user acquisition and didn't take much money the first 8 years of my life, I ended up basically was able to tap into that. And that's where it took off from a projected 12 million to 33 million in 2020 because of that. But if I didn't have those customers, I did 8 million in 2019 and I would have tanked to probably 2 million, right? Because I dropped 80%. So that's where we skyrocketed. And luckily, because I got into print on demand, everything went online. So I still had like maybe 1,500 t-shirts a day that we could do at the time. So luckily one of my clients was like, hey, we're giving you like 1,200 right now or 1,000 right now. We need all your capacity. How much do you have? I was like, 5,000. And they're like, okay. So they sent me 5,000. So I started running 3 shifts and we couldn't keep up. And then I was like, all right, let me go buy more equipment, charge my credit card, and move my capacity to like 10,000. Now, obviously we have 20,000 a day, but this all happened this year. So I just kept charging that American Express because I realized everything's going online. It's all about capacity. The more capacity I have, the more clients will need that. They're going to need us. Right. So and luckily I had this humongous warehouse space at the time, which we still do, like the 20,000 square feet, the one you visited. And it was all empty. Like when I came out of prison, it was empty. We were just doing like 600 to 1,200 shirts a day. And that was really just Christmas time. So, so everything just went online and everything just like worked out. But that's because I was in the present moment. I knew how to quickly react. I knew how to customer base. I knew that 40,000 resellers had to figure out what to sell. If I'm losing money, what are they going to do? They got to bring food on their plate, right? So that's why I love the B2B side. And that's why whoever joins Swagify and joins, there's just a mentorship program that I'm going to be putting together with Charles. Like, I'm going to teach you guys that entire industry because that saved me. And that is what I'm so blessed to have, that I can share and teach everybody that, because I'm more than happy to share that, because there's just so much, just so much money for everybody, because, you know, that's where it really protected me, because again, present moment, 40,000 customers, they all needed to eat. And the only thing selling was face masks. So I basically sent an email blast out. We called all of our clients. We're like, hey, sell this, sell this, sell this, and sell it to your B2C customer list, because this is what's working. And we helped them. We're like, hey, we were telling them, sell it, sell this, because they're all like uncertain and depressed and didn't know what's going to happen. Because if I dropped 80%, they dropped 80% in the promotional side. So that's why till this day, a lot of people are like, hey, thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have ever got into PPE and face masks and things like that.
That's powerful, bro. So, I mean, there's a few strong lessons there. Number one, you had a $500,000 credit card and you saw opportunity and you dropped it on yourself. You know what I'm saying? You dropped it and put that on the opportunity, right? And I just think that, you know, the belief, right? You said, like you said, in the clarity, I think that's amazing. Number two, one of the big things I always talk about, y'all, and this applies to e-commerce and our t-shirts, but what AK just talked about, we have a few different ways to grow our business. Number one, we can get new customers, customer acquisition, like he talked about at the very beginning. But then how can we get our customers to buy more from us and then buy from us more frequently, right? And I always talk about, how do you build the back end of your business? How can you get somebody who purchased from you today to buy from you 2, 3, 4, 5, 20 times, right? That lifetime value. And that's what AK was able to do. He got customers in the door at one point in time. He saw an opportunity, those 40,000 customers, and he sold to them again. And he built a relationship and he took care of them before, so they came back. And I always want you to think about that for your t-shirt business, right? When you have somebody to buy from you today, go ahead, say that again.
I was like, they all need to know, you take care of your customers, you take care of your vendors, you take care of your credit card bills, you take care of your bills. Don't screw people over for even a penny, because you just never know when you're going to need them. You know what I'm saying? So sorry, I interrupted you, but it's no. The long-term mindset has to be there. Or if you ruin relationships and vendor relationships throughout the process, and when shit goes down, man, no one's gonna help you.
That's powerful, y'all. Don't think short term. Don't think about a quick flip, an easy dollar. Think about the long term, right? That's how you really grow your business. And that's what really, in the time when AK got out, that's what really helped him. So, all right, bro, you got these face masks. You come back to the facility. It's empty at that time. I've been to the facility. You got DTG machines lined up row by row, right? It's empty at that time. It wasn't booming like it was, but you got this part of your business going. You know what I'm saying? That really grew you. That sustained you. That took you to a whole nother level in 2020. So when do you end up really switching over? Around what month last year do you switch over and start really going heavy on the print on demand and getting all those DTG machines, right? When does that transition happen last year?
So remember, I took on more orders. I never said no, right, to my clients, but I decided, you know what, if my staff's not gonna fulfill it, I'll work all night, and if I have to, I'll go print the t-shirts. So that's when the pandemic hit, everything went online. But then I found out that every vendor was backed up. I think Printful was backed up like 8-12 weeks, right? So because they had reached out to us, actually Printful reached out to us to help them with fulfillment. So I was like, okay, well, this is weird. Like there's no capacity like in the country. So I'm okay with, you know, I guess my customer, I mean, one of my top clients was like, hey, it's fine if you're late. Cause usually we give them 2-3 day turnaround time. They're like, it's fine. We're going to send you more. I said, okay, bring it. Like, cause even though we were like shipping it at 6 days, 10 days, some vendors weren't shipping it for 2-3 weeks. So they were pulling stuff from other printers and bringing it to us. So we were able to build a really good relationship with a couple of these bigger clients we have. And then I was like, you know what? I just need to go spend another $1.5 million on my, you know, and maximize my facility. So all the profit that I made those few months, I went back again, long term. I was like, screw it. I'm going to take a little bit for myself, enjoy my life, got me a little nice toy, you know, and then I was like, you know, I'm just going to go back and put it right back into the business again, because come 2021, everything is still shifting. Corona's here to stay. It's not going anywhere. Right. And so I was like, you know what, I'm going to need capacity anyway. So I ended up overextending myself again. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to figure it out. And that's where Swagify is born, right? I was like, you know what, I got to get this platform up and running and finished. And we've been screwed over by so many developers trying to build software. So I was like, screw it, I'm just going to reinvest back into the company. And I'm not going to take anything for myself again. So for the first 8 years, I didn't take anything for myself. I hit a gold mine. And then I took a good amount for myself this year. And then I took everything, like 80% of the profits again, and put it right back into the company to now take it to the next level. Because look, besides a nice car, you don't see me in a 20,000 square foot house. You don't see me in these things, right? Like I'm not gonna overextend myself. And that's why I tell people in the very beginning, when you start, like, you'll get to that, I promise you. But if you decide to go drop money on a Mercedes when you should be driving a Honda, like, get the Honda, you know, get the Mercedes when you take it to the next level, when you know you can get a Ferrari, but don't get the Ferrari, get the Mercedes, like in steps. Right. And so everybody here has the ability to get there. If I can get there, you can get there, I can promise you. But at the end of the day, it's all about long-term thinking. And if you do that, you will be successful.
I keep hearing that theme, y'all. Long term, right? You see what AK is talking about. You know, long term. Don't spend on crazy things. Reinvest into the business again. So, you know, those are some powerful gems, man. So let's go to the next phase of this, right? So you talked about Swagify and you had this vision. And I think I remember you telling me maybe when you were in prison, you kind of wrote up a plan of or your ideas for Swagify. So you have this vision of doing that. You talked about, you know, you start working with developers. I guess, you know, you had some bad developers, they didn't work out, but you're building this platform. What was your vision, right? And not even what is your vision for Swagify as you enter into this space, to where we have these other companies out here that are fulfilling for t-shirt brand owners and just other people who sell any products online as well? Where does Swagify fit into the ecosystem that's out here right now? And how will it help other t-shirt brand owners?
Ooh, man, I don't know if I want to share that, because if I have competitors watching, they're going to take my vision, right? But I'll kind of hint at it. Because we're making Swagify a very close-knit community, and you got to play to play. I mean, you got to pay to play. Like, it's that simple, because I want to make sure I'm only working with the right people that are willing to invest in their business. So, you know, because a lot of people they'll just waste their time. They just want a free ride. I just can't do that. But if you're willing to go in and you have that mindset, I rather work with quality over quantity. So Swagify is really going to be a ERP system. It's going to be a centralized system that connects to multiple e-commerce stores and multiple vendors. It's Printify, but 100 times better. And then we're going to have the ability to have like all sorts of different products. There's a small IP technology we're building that I think is going to be a game changer. It's this API we're building, and I can't talk about that, but it is going to be the biggest thing. But the most important thing of it is community. I think we want to build Swag U. Like, we just bought 10 acres. I'm going to dedicate about 20,000 square feet into a full court basketball court, a 2,000 square foot gym, a bar in there, like a nice little trade show little area where we can have like events, and a community where everybody can fly down once a year or twice a year, where we have like, you know, people like Charles speaking, myself speaking, and other really great quality thought leaders and influencers speaking to help you grow your business. I think this platform is not for, it's not about the money. It's more about building a community of successful entrepreneurs, because there's so many gurus out there, right? Like, the reason what I love about Charles is he's not just a guru. He's actually doing it himself. I see his numbers myself. I fulfill for him. So same thing, like, we are here to help you guys grow with us and kind of jump in on that growth trajectory with us. Because if we can help you, again, long term, if I can help you, I'm going to win as well. So it's always that goes back to that giving mindset and taking care of others before myself and not being selfish. And I think that's where we're both coming to you guys with, because it's building a community, building a place like an adult university where people can enjoy and have fun and not be afraid of each other, and not be afraid to share ideas and think of each other as competitors and steal people's ideas. Like, you know, everyone that comes in has to sign an NDA. Everybody, no matter if they're a competitor, like, freely have an open, free conversation. Don't talk about pricing, but have an open conversation about ideas and growth and things like that, and helping each other win, because it's a big market. You'll win together versus against each other, right? And I think that's what I want to create. And, you know, and that goes back with my initial, when I got in trouble, my whole plan was, hey, how can I win with other people? And then we had one guy who was just a punk, and I'm not going to call him out, but, you know, he got us all in trouble, and because he wanted us to be out of business, and it didn't do nothing. In fact, we all grew 4 times. So it didn't do anything. So, you know, if you're a hater and one of those people just brings people down, this isn't for you. You know, if you're positive, you want to grow, you have a growth mindset, we'll guide you. And if we don't, take the money back. Like, we don't need it. You know, we're just here I want to build a community, leave a legacy. And that's what Swagify is. It's like to unite everybody. And so we can all win together.
That's amazing, bro. And, you know, I can just attest, man, to this guy's generosity, man, you know, for the fact, like, he's helped me fulfill and do some things, extended favors to me in ways that I just wonder. I'm like I've barely known you, dude. You know what I'm saying? And I can just appreciate, you know, him. He has this facility. When I went down there to Houston, I go and I check out and I stay down there. I'm probably about there for 4 or 5 days, and I'm walking around. And as I'm staying there and I'm there each day, there's ideas just clicking through my head, just like, man, look at all the opportunity. It felt like a playground to me, right? And he's just telling me, he's like, bro, like, you know, what I'm trying to do is really leverage my facility to help other people. And I think that this is just going to be an amazing opportunity. I don't feel like there's any print-on-demand company out there that will offer that type of service, that type of guidance, that type of mentorship. And I just really think, you know, the vision that he has is amazing, and, you know, look forward to seeing how everything comes to life, you know, over the next coming months. So tell me about this, bro. Before we wrap up, what are the next steps? Everybody has been asking. I've been shouting from the rooftop, Swagify, Swagify, Swagify. Go get on the list. And every single day, I promise you, there's somebody who is like, bro, when Swagify opening up? Like, I'm looking. So what's next steps? When can people expect to be able to join? What would be the process? Kind of give us how that'll look.
Yeah, so we're waiting on Shopify, because Shopify has a billing API that they want us to use, because we may have a customer from Big Cartel, like I think Betty Netto's Vonnie 1013 is asking about Bed Cartel. We don't have an integration with Bed Cartel yet, but we will. But like, you know, WordPress and Etsy. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to share a specific subscription plan or a piece of the pie with Shopify. If it's a customer has WordPress, like why would I want to share that? So we have to file an exemption with Shopify's billing API. So it's just a technical thing. We're just waiting. I mean, we've been stuck on this for about a month and a half, Christmas, you know, the whole COVID, everything's just taking a lot longer. So we finally submitted everything a few days ago. I'm hoping this week we should get the approval. So my goal is by the end of this month, we should go into our beta live, where we'll open it up to your group first. So everybody that's on swagify.com that's signing up, I see everything. I see all the people coming in. So everyone from your group will be invited first, and we'll get them in, and you know, we'll test everything out. Obviously, there'll be some bugs and issues here and there. So please forgive me ahead of time for that. But you know, we want to make sure we do everything correctly. And I have an entire lane dedicated for this project. So you know, we're going to cap it out at a certain amount of people because we don't want to overextend ourselves either, and not maintain like, you know, I want to make sure I don't take more than I can't handle. But we are building our new facility. We're going to break ground. And I did actually tomorrow I'm going to go look at 30,000 square feet across the street, which will give us about a total of 50,000 square feet. So if Swagify does take off, which, you know, I hope everybody here joins, then we should be able to add, I'll put more equipment in this year, and double the capacity than we currently have, to like 40,000 a day if we need to. But I'll need everybody's support here, you know, because this equipment's very expensive.
Absolutely. Well, no, man, I think that's extremely inspiring, bro. And you know, kudos to you for your vision and, you know, what you're building, and, you know, taking things to new heights. And you know, just like you said, this is going to be you know, a new venture, right? It's very new. So like you said, maybe there's bugs, maybe there's things that happen, but that's what happens when you start something brand new, especially when you try to trailblaze. So look forward to really working with you and seeing how things play out. So with that being said, AK, man, you know, before we head off, I think that this has been an amazing talk. I think that there's been tons of value that has been dropped, a lot of inspiration given to the entrepreneur wherever they are in their journey, to be able to say, hey, this is where I can start and this is where I can get to. AK says that I can do it. He's accomplished a lot. These are the things that can help me get there. So any last words of advice, any last, you know, final words of encouragement, whatever it is, to the audience before we close out?
Be grateful for what you have today, and stay in the present moment, and just hang out with your family and friends. Take time off for yourself. Like, yes, you know, like work the 8 to 10 hours and all the stuff that Gary Vee and all these people say, that's fine. But you still got to take time for yourself. You take your time, go to the gym, stay healthy, stay in the present moment. You know, one thing you didn't do today isn't going to run away. You can do it tomorrow. You know, it's fine. You know, and focus on kind of planning your day out and just staying organized. But most importantly, stay in the present moment, because you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And whatever's in the past, forget it. Move on. Just move forward.
Absolutely. That's powerful, bro. Well, I appreciate it, man. And before we close out, I just want to, you know, say congratulations to you. Some people might have missed it earlier, but congratulations to you, bro, for your health and the tumor being gone. I think that's amazing. You know what I'm saying? I know that's something that, you know, was, you know, something you thought about and just like, man, like why? But I think that's amazing, bro. And outside of the money, anything, your health is wealth. And, you know, I congratulations, man, and truly happy for you, bro. So if everybody would do us a favor, follow AK. All right. If you want to follow AK, you want to learn more about him, his story, Swagify, just what he has going on. You can see stuff about his Lambo riding around. You can follow him on Instagram. His thing is Scalable CEO, CSCALABLE CEO on Instagram. And then on Instagram for Swagify, you can follow him at Get Swagify. All right. And you know, be on the lookout for what he has to come, and we really appreciate it. And AK, thanks for having us. Oh, thank you for joining, bro. We look forward to having you. Thank you.
And I got my YouTube channel. I'm relaunching, so please subscribe there. And we're going to be doing a lot of gems. Charles and I. He's my exclusive partner for all the gems. So we'll definitely doing all that.
Awesome, bro. Well, no, I appreciate it, bro. And thanks again, man. And we'll definitely be in touch, man.
You got it. Thanks, man. Take care.
All right, family. All right. Yeah. Cool. All right, y'all. Another amazing episode. I appreciate that talk with AK. Somebody who started from his garage, somebody who had some setbacks to building a $20 million company to a place to where he's trying to really disrupt and add value to an industry, right? Check him out. Follow him. Instagram, YouTube, you know, see what he has going on. I look forward to growing with him over the next year, see how 2021 plays out. I know that's somebody that's going to be fulfilling for me. And, you know, I truly appreciate everybody in the T-Shirt Millionaires family, everybody that tunes into this show, everybody who comes and watches, everybody who comes supports, the DMs. I'm grateful, y'all. And I look forward to bringing more value. I started this show with the plans of bringing the best people in the industry, whether it's T-shirt brand owners, whether it's advertisers, whether it's print-on-demand companies, whatever it is, suppliers. I look forward to bringing more people to add value to you. Also, if you don't follow me, follow me on T-Shirt Millionaires on Instagram. All right. If you want to get on exclusive lists for updates, any type of, you know what I'm saying, messages, trainings, whatever it is, do me a favor. Text me at 256-588-4495. Follow over on YouTube. That's going to really help me grow over there. And I truly appreciate y'all, man. I thank y'all. And I appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to the next episode. We have some fire coming next week. And until then, many blessings, peace and success. And we'll talk soon. Y'all take care. Have a great evening.